I want to have a quick conversation with you about how to start a Cargo Van LLC. And so here's the general information. So when we talk about starting a Cargo Van limited liability company, you got to ask yourself three things. Number one, my location. Number two, the sector I want to target. And number three, and this is very important, is the LLC type of business really the best one for me? In today's conversation, I want to give you a few tips, updated tips on how to start a Cargo Van LLC in the first place. So when we talk about the geography, so is your state the best state to actually open transportation LLC? I mean, some states are more business friendly than others, right? And what about the niche that you want to go after? Do you want to do same day? You want to do last mile? Do you want to do urgent delivery? Or do you want to actually do something in between? You got to ask yourself, because depending on the loads that you are chasing, you are going to actually have a different revenue component or revenue profile. And also, we are talking about is the LLC actually the best way of forming a cargo van business? Maybe you might want to think about opening a Cargo Van C corporation, starting a Cargo Van S corporation, having a Cargo Van LP, or what have you. So everything depends upon your strategy, right? So you got to ask yourself. But one thing for sure, when we talk about starting a Cargo Van LLC, you got to really have a clear idea about the market research. So you want to actually, you want to do market research so you can determine demand for delivery vehicles in your area and identify potential customers. So for your Cargo Van LLC, you got to really ask yourself, who are my ideal customers? For instance, your ideal customers could be restaurants, medical labs, wholesalers, caterers, and retailers. So what you want to do is you want to analyze their needs, locations, and current providers. You want to research competitors to your potential Cargo Van LLC to analyze pricing, fleet sizes, specialized services, and marketing. Look for niche markets with less competition, like medical supplies or catering deliveries. And focusing on a niche can be lucrative, especially if you do it right. It's all about you knowing exactly what strategy you need to actually implement. Explore also rental opportunities for an independent contractor or other businesses if there is a high demand for cargo vans while you are not offering delivery services. And market research provides data on demand, customer segment, pricing, and opportunities to actually help differentiate your services. That's what you need to have in the first place anyway. If you want to start a Cargo Van LLC, it's important that your LLC has a business plan. Your LLC got to have a business plan. I don't care if you are a single member LLC or a multi-member LLC, you got to have a business plan. You got to have a GPS. Okay. The business plan is the GPS that will actually show whether or not your Cargo Van LLC has an opportunity to actually make some money, depending on the niche that you're in, depending on the loads you are going after. So you want to conduct market research, and so that's what you did a little earlier, right? So once you conduct market research, you need to create a comprehensive business plan for your Cargo Van LLC. We have covered on this show some business plan software, such as Live Plan, BizPlan, the Business Plan Shop. You have a lot of business plan software that you can use to actually create a business plan for your Cargo Van LLC. And so the business plan actually outlines your Cargo Van LLC's services, target markets, customers, pricing strategy, and marketing plan. You want to include equipment, staffing, licenses, and cost. And you also want to develop financial projections to prove viability when seeking financing. And so a well-researched business plan for your Cargo Van LLC is kind of crucial, especially when it comes to launching a very successful Cargo Van LLC. So you want to pay attention to the market research, the business plan, but also the legal requirements, right? So of course, you have already chosen the LLC type of business, but the question is, what about sole proprietorship? What about corporation? What about S corporation? What about C corporation? So you always want to go back and see whether or not the LLC type of business is the right one for you. And you also have to comply with local laws and regulations. So you want to obtain permits and licenses, ensuring that you have a valid driver's license, especially if you are going, if you need some kind of endorsement, if you need a CDL in the first place. Now, to drive a cargo van for your Cargo Van LLC, you don't need a CDL. But if you were to actually do a, let's say, cross-state delivery, or you were actually to do, for instance, hazmat or drive a reefer, for instance, you might have to have a CDL with certain endorsement. So you want to follow local, state, and federal regulations and choose the right set of regulations for you. You want to register your business name and get an EIN from the IRS. So if needed, you also want to register with the FMCSA to obtain a DOT number, okay, and an operating authority for interstate transportation. That's really ensure that you complete all the necessary state level carrier registrations. So that's really important. I also want to talk to you about vehicle selection. So when we talk about starting a Cargo Van LLC, you got to really choose the right selection. I mean, the right vehicle select. You got to choose the right vehicle. Of course, we are speaking about cargo van, but you have different types of cargo vans. So really pay attention to the make and model of the cargo van. And so you want to consider cargo capacity, as you want vehicles that can handle typical load sizes from your targeted customers. Also, fuel efficiency is important to keep gas costs down. I mean, in this world, in this day and age, gas costs can be really high. So you also want to compare maintenance costs, as more repairs mean more downtime, and you want to have less downtime anyway. You also need to evaluate at this point buying new versus used vehicles, because new cargo vans have modern features, but used can actually offer savings. So you want to inspect used vans thoroughly before purchasing. Make sure the tires, the brakes, and engines are in good shape. I mean, because if you want to succeed with your Cargo Van LLC, reliability is key, because breakdown do lose money. So the right vehicles for your needs will depend on factors like budget, maintenance capabilities, and client delivery requirements. And what happens here is that as your customer base grows, you can add vans to your Cargo Van LLC. Starting out with the one well-maintained fuel efficiency cargo van is kind of cool for you, because you can save cash and you can really have a clear idea of what you need. Also, think about insurance. So make sure that for your cargo van, you want to have the proper insurance so you can deliver cargo van loads to protect your valuable assets. Collaborate with commercial insurance brokers to obtain customized policies that cater to your specific needs. So you want to have a commercial auto liability insurance that covers bodily injury, property damage, and uninsured motorists. Verify that the policy limits align with regulations. Additionally, you want to consider obtaining collision and comprehensive coverage, especially if you are trying to protect against vehicle damage. Also, think about general liability insurance, because they can provide for third-party property damage or bodily injury. I want to talk to you about the branding and marketing. So if you want to start a Cargo Van LLC successfully, you want to actually invest a little bit in terms of promotion, right? So choose a memorable business name and design a standout logo. And you want to invest in a professional website, because the whole thing is that if you are going to market your Cargo Van LLC in your geography, you want folks to actually, you want to have the right first impression. So you want a professional website that highlights your services, target market, and company values. You want to optimize your site for search engines to attract local customers, because if you are going to make money, you want to start locally first. You want to utilize digital marketing strategies like SEO, Google Ads, and social media advertising. Create engaging social media pages and post content such as service highlights, for instance, company news, fleet, team photos, and industry updates. You also want to run targeted promotions and ads in your area. And the cool thing is that if you are trying to beef up the promotion of your Cargo Van LLC, you can also print visually appealing materials like brochures, postcards, and flyers for local distribution. And you can network with small businesses, attend Chamber of Commerce events, and partner with on-demand delivery apps and e-commerce platforms. And you also want to provide exceptional service to generate positive word-of-mouth referrals. You also got to think about price and cost management. So you want to make sure that you should ask yourself, how am I going to determine revenue, load revenue? Am I charging per mile, or am I charging per contract? So what am I charging for? So because factors like mileage, time, weight, and urgency should all impact your pricing model. And so generally, you should charge per mile for longer delivery routes or inner city transportation. For local short haul deliveries, base rates on time or a flat fee per stop. Fuel surcharges help offset rising gas prices, so you want to provide volume or loyalty discounts to frequent shippers to incentivize their continued business. I want to talk to you now about dispatch and scheduling. So if you want to start a very successful Cargo Van LLC, you have to pay attention to dispatch and scheduling, because that's actually the fulcrum of your revenue. And because at the end of the day, when you have downtime that's too much, you are losing money, right? Now, the thing is that you do not want to be to connect with shippers that don't really match your specific needs. So smooth dispatching and scheduling are imperative for timely pickups and deliveries. You want to invest in a transportation management system, a TMS, or a dispatch software that allows you to efficiently route drivers, schedule stops, track shipments, and monitor progress. And integrated optimization ensures that you minimize mileage and avoid delays. And that's an important element, especially when you're trying to really make sure that your Cargo Van LLC is successful right off the bat. And so consider, if that's really easy for you, consider hiring a dedicated dispatcher to handle day-to-day scheduling, driver communication, for instance, customer service, and addressing any road issues. And an experienced dispatcher adapts to changing circumstances and keeps deliveries on time. Alternatively, outsource dispatching to a third-party provider. And so streamlining dispatch and scheduling processes with technology and defined procedures actually results in maximum efficiency. For instance, you have a maximum efficiency, you have reduced cost, and you also have reliability in terms of on-time performance. So in the end, what happens here is that this trifecta makes or keeps your customers satisfied. I want to talk to you about customer service. So if you want to have a very successful Cargo Van LLC, you want to make sure that your LLC is paying attention to what shippers really want, customer service. And so especially if you want to retain clients long term and gain referrals for new business. So you want to invest time into properly training your drivers to be courteous and professional and follow provided instructions at every stop. You want to emphasize safe driving practices, and you want to also think about that your drivers or yourself, if you're a solo, you are actually in a situation where you have to represent your brand positively. You want to communicate proactively with customers to provide order status updates and manage expectations. You want to address any questions or concerns promptly and offer solutions whenever the need arises. That will really, customers love that. They love frequent updates. You also want to follow up after deliveries to ensure satisfaction. Seek feedback regularly to identify areas for service improvement. And if you want your Cargo Van LLC to be successful in terms of customer service, you got to respond quickly to inquiries, be transparent about timelines, and solve problems patiently. So, and you also want to provide an excellent customer experience so that you can help your Cargo Van LLC stand out from competitors while building your reputation. So that's really important. You also got to think about expansion and growth. So once your Cargo Van LLC establishes a strong customer base, sees opportunities to scale operations, and as demand grows, expand your fleet with more cargo vans and hire qualified cargo van deliverers as needed. So when we talk about hiring qualified cargo van drivers, you really have to see what works for your situation. You also want to evaluate technology investments to boost efficiency with higher volume, and expand into new service regions for further growth. Partner with complementary carriers for overflow orders during peak periods. Hire experienced operations managers and support staff to sustain growth. Focus on providing excellent service while investing profits into expansion with healthy margins. Next, it's important to understand that when we talk about starting a Cargo Van LLC, what kind of money can you make really? Well, it depends on the geography. It depends on the load that you are hauling. It depends on the strategy you have put in place. But basically, a properly managed Cargo Van Delivery LLC can generate somewhere from $2,000 to $5,000 in revenue per week. And so if after accounting for expenses, profit margins typically range from 30% to over 50%. Okay, so now there are some industries that are available for cargo van LLCs. For instance, you have grocery and food delivery, or you have retail deliveries, you have construction and contracting, you have mobile advertisements, you have small businesses or local businesses, you have a general transportation, you have hauling services. So hauling services, I'm talking about junk removal, waste recycling, vehicle towing, for instance. You also have moving services. So you transporting furniture, boxes, appliances, and also other cars for relocations. And you also can deliver feature. So you can deliver furniture. So transporting furniture from warehouses or stores directly to customers actually is very profitable. And the spacious cargo capacity makes them perfect for anything, for carrying anything from fresh produce to machinery to custom signage. So that's really cool. So when we talk about starting a Cargo Van LLC, basically the vehicle's accessibility and the flexibility enable countless industries to hire you really, and you can actually raise your salary real fast. And this is really good. And at the end of the day, it's all about how you position your company to actually embrace the service or the opportunity that may actually arise. So in closing today's conversation, I explained to you how to start a Cargo Van LLC, and I gave you the general information. And now I'm just closing this discussion. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.